welcome back, because still a lot of people are looking for the best Necromancer build, and YouTube is full of builds signed as the best, the next best, and another also the best. Where is the problem then? Let's explore it in this video. At the very beginning, I want you to know that what I'm going to talk about is my subjective opinion based on experience, tests, and general feeling from the game. I'm not going to convince anyone to anything. At the end of the day, you decide what's best for you. So let's take a closer look at the most popular build, which is a simple summoner, based on summon damage and extremely high critical rating from the Shepherd set. I noticed that this build is the most recommended by players, and it doesn't surprise me at all because there are mechanics in the game that throw this solution in our face, such as magic item bonuses, REFORGE bonuses, and gems. It's worth mentioning that it's the only option to increase summons damage, as they are not considered as skills damage, which means you have to choose between summon upgrades or your character. In this case, you have to focus on summons to get maximum efficiency, which also decreases with the smaller number of own summons, so it's not recommended to use less than 6. Another very important point is that the biggest source of DPS, critical damage, is very dependent on the difficulty level you're at, so it's worth making sure you're able to get the expected value before sacrificing your armor for armor penetration. It should also be noted that this build with a Crusader and a party that gives a holy banner doesn't get as strong a buff as other builds, and in extreme cases the banner and even reduce your DPS, which is a huge downside in my opinion. Speaking of gems, you have to remember that the gems willingly used by players for this build are almost exclusively for the summoner and have almost no practical use for other builds. I don't even mention class change and about the number of gems that turned out to be completely ineffective for summons. You can see it in my other videos. The exact same situation is with magic and REFORGE bonuses. To get max DPS, you need to invest in summon damage, so you sacrifice your own because skill damage doesn't work for summons. You still have critical though, but everything else closes the door to playing a different build. And PvP is nothing but icing on the cake with this build, because everything you're trying to get to make your summons best has no use in Battleground. So anyway, you need a different set, gems and bonuses to do anything there. So the conclusions about the best build are not simple, and I would like to be well understood. I still think it's a great PvE setup, with possibly the highest value of damage on the screen, especially when your combat rating is higher than expected. But don't most of the builds in the game work well? In that case, I think they do. And this build gets weaker when you enter higher difficulty levels. Your summons die quickly, and you are left with nothing but cooldowns from them, because most of your stats are based on increasing summons performance. You become completely defenseless only with your primary attack not even boosted from set bonus. So it's hard to say if it's the best build when it depends so much on so many factors, and you can't even use it for every activity in the game. And this is what I personally expect from the best build: flexibility, which it completely does not have. The only purpose of this build and the number of dependent factors is overwhelming for me. That's why I personally don't like to invest in it. But this video wouldn't be complete if I didn't give a solution to the problem of flexibility, so that it can be used everywhere only by changing the essence of items. The solution to all these problems will be skill-based Necromancer, and the less you depend on summons, the better. In the first place, I recommend changing Shepherd to Flagellants. Then invest in magic and reforge bonuses such as critical chance, cooldown reduction, skill damage, beneficial effects duration, and optionally primary or critical damage. As summons are great at attacking mobs, you can still use them successfully, but make sure they are melees and put underrated thorns on them as the main source of your damage. And that's basically all you need to make work everything that till now did not work for summons. Because now you care about damage that comes from your skills and you don't mind summon damage anymore. They are here for attacking and carrying your skills, but you don't have to use all of them. You also have the choice of a wide variety of other skills that work perfectly in this build, such as Bone Spirits, Dark Curse, Corpse Explosion, Bone Spikes, and even Ignited Filler is deadly. So as you can see, this solution is much more flexible and allows you to use all the best in the Necromancer, and for sure, it can be said that it is not boring as an ordinary summoner. Remember, the more damage sources, the better, because the flagellant will proc more often. So for example, at gems like Torment, or optionally, if you have Seeping Bile, are necessary to reach full effect. That's all for today. I hope this video will be helpful for many people. So don't forget to press the like button, subscribe to stay updated with new videos, and as always, thanks for watching.